Howdy, folks. You guys are just worthless, YouTube. You can't get 2 minutes without a freaking ad. Unbelievable. Might as well put TV on. Tired of seeing Kamala Harris every ad. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. All right. Let's get this show on the road. And while this is loading up, I'll take a minute here to thank all of you, even in replay, for taking a precious moment of your time to be here with this precious family. Make it to the end of this show and through the spiritual report, you understand how precious this family is and how precious you are to me. Yeah. All right, hang on a sec here. All right. I think I'm pretty good there. All right, here we are. July 29th, 2024. And quite a bit of activity again here on the sun. We have had quite the little session here for the last few days here. Boom. All right, so let's catch that opening frame and start going through this frame by frame. Right there. Do some scooching. All right, here we are, opening frame, July 29th, 2024. You can see these spires coming off right here and here, that there's a round object right there about to emerge. And then there it is right there. Okay, instrument reacting to it. You see the wake coming off of it or going around it. The solar wind and plasma is streaming past this faster than it's moving out, so it leaves these little wakes. And then you can see our object right there. See the two little moons that are with it, two little satellites that are with it right there and right there. Probably some others that are scattered around that, got tore away or something like that. But there's your object right there. Okay. So let's back out here. Scooch. Why can't it just have? Okay, so boom. Also something out shooting out down here. And then we get this. Note over here, two little streaks, almost like there's two little balls or two little spheres that grab plasma or something, maybe little satellites there, but here you can see our round shape right here. Let's keep going. Right in there, you can see some of the other little satellites that are trailing with this one. Over here on this side, you can kind of see the reach and the plasma, how it's going around it, streaking right up to it. All right, let me pull this just right again. Okay. And then it kind of continues on out right over the sun, pulling a bunch of other stuff along with it. Here's another one that got tore away, probably one here, one over there. Now look at the spread going on over here. You can see right in this area our dark round spheroid. Let me go back a frame. See how the plasma is reaching out and then bending and going a different direction? See this damage ring that's about to spread around and over it? Ooh, what happened there? We went from 1524 to 1605, so we have a jump in data. All right, meanwhile, we got this thing going on down there. Let's back up to that. Well, we can't see that. Dang. So a little jump in data there. Meanwhile, we got this one and another event underway. Hello, Hopkinson. Welcome, everybody. Whoa, what was that old thing? Oh, never mind. All right, right in here, nice round spheroid shape with the V-shaped bow shock on the back side of it. See it there when I tilt the screen back a little bit. Okay. Okay, so that, whoa. That was our closing frame, 2348. But we had to look at this. Hang on. Nah, there's no battles going on out there. There's no spiritual battle going on around the sun. Yep. Look at these three down there, all in a triangle. Uh, all right. Well, what do you know? There goes third phase. Okay, so enough of that. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so let me put that back into motion here. All right, and there's your activity for today. Quite the day, as if we haven't had enough in the last few days. Oh, you can see the black sphere right there. Oh, when it's in motion, watch right there. Oh man, right there, kind of hiding back in the shadows in there, back in the plasma here, so you can get just right. Yeah, there's more than normal activity going on our sun right here. Okay. And these things, like I was saying, they tend to come in threes, the three big ones. And there was actually crop circles shown not too long ago of what seems to be our larger object, our three larger objects, their configuration type thing. Anyways, we'll get to that in the spiritual report. So bang, right there. All right, and that was the 29th. So here we go. Let's go on over to Solar Ham now. And pull up to the very top here. Geomagnetic storm watch now in effect following a CME impact at 2 or 02, okay? At 2 seconds. 2 minutes. All right, lifted solar indices. Our main indices are way up to 223, really high right now. Sunspot number count over 200. We're up 22 more spots, which pushed it over 200 to 211 now. Our area is increasing. It's getting into the yellow. That's okay for right now. Really quick, let's just go zoom in on the goes X-ray flux. Let's get fluxed. Okay, as you can see, it was a bumpy day. All right, go try and get some of the wavy lines out of there. I got to do it this way, but at least I don't have to fight OBS and all the other settings and stuff like that. So, all right, so very bumpy day. One almost peaked the next flare right there. So, well, maybe even the next flare. But long duration one here. This is what we just saw on the satellite right here. And then there's a little activity going into tomorrow right there already. I wonder. Nah, you guys don't want to go see that, do you? Well, tough. We're going to go take a peek anyway. Probably not much. Yeah, this little event right down here, we can see another little satellite type round object with a V-shaped bow shock on the back of it right there. Okay, so there's your little event there. Bingo. Okay, so here we go. Now, our 3-day geomagnetic forecast. Tomorrow, the 30th, is the G3, the big one that they're calling for, okay? We already had a slight little uptick today, so I thought maybe that was it, but we'll see. Meanwhile, X flare potential up to 25%, now in the red, okay? M flare potential 80%. Okay, there's a lot of red and orange on this screen right now. Okay, also G2 and a G2 the following 2 days. All right, so we have the multiple CMEs back to back to back to back coming at us. Okay, we did experience some little impact already, and then there's this tomorrow. Okay, there was enhancement of the weather today, so that did occur. All right. Meanwhile, down here are first. Let's do our sunspot or our flares. We had the M6.4 a 4.2, and the one that was almost an X flare was a 8.7. Okay, and then we also had the 1.5 earlier, and then these ones yesterday. Okay, now over here at our geomagnetic field in our auroras, we're getting yellow band right now in our auroras. We're having a G1 storm right there, okay, KP5. So this is energy that's going to be absorbed down to the core. It's going to be coming bubbling back up in the form of earthquakes and volcanoes. All right, we're going to be in for a wild ride here, especially the more it just keeps kicking out. The sun keeps kicking out more and more in our direction. It's just not good. All right, so our sunspots, we got 70, which is beta delta, 68 beta gamma. All right, 65 and 66 are both beta gamma delta and growing. 62 is beta gamma and declining. I think it's finally going around the limb now. Real quick, let's just do the tracker first here. Okay, there's your multiple CMEs. Can I have that nice and big? Wave after wave after wave. All right. Impact here at Earth starting the 30th, mainly midday the 30th. Okay. Still predicting that for this big wave right here. The first two cannibalized or merged, but then you have these other ones right afterwards and afterwards and afterwards. And that's not even accounting for today's stuff. Okay. So we're in for a bumpy ride. Expect to maybe see some volcanoes, some earthquakes, large magnitude earthquakes, big volcano eruptions. It's gonna get crazy here. We'll talk about that when we get to those reports, though. So let's read this article. The first of several eruptions expected to pass Earth has reached the ACE spacecraft. The solar wind speed increased from 330 to 450 kilometers per second, and a passage past our planet is expected within the hour. And that was earlier today. CME impact. The Boulder magnetometer detected a geomagnetic sudden impulse. 58. The solar wind speed is currently near 450, and the BZ component of the Interplanetary Magnetic Field, the IMF, is initially pointing north. Geomagnetic storming will be possible, especially if the BZ IMF begins to point south. Geomagnetic storm minor G1 geomagnetic storming observed at higher latitudes following a CME impact, and currently the solar wind speed remains elevated above 450, but the BZ component of the interplanetary magnetic field has been ranging from -5 to -11. Okay. Aurora Skywatcher should remain alert. Here's our first little impact, our first little CME passage, but that's not the big one that's expected yet. There's probably a little something going along with it. All right. Additional coronal mass ejections, including the faint halo CME produced by the M9.9 flare on July 28th, have now been modeled. This now makes at least 3 to 4 CMEs predicted to possibly combine to produce a geomagnetic storming up to the strong G3 level. Please note that none of these eruptions were particularly energetic or fast moving, so it shouldn't get here too soon because I think it's already hit, but no. So we will have to wait until it arrives and past Earth to gauge conditions further. High solar activity continues on Monday. 3762 was responsible for an M8.7 flare. Elsewhere, a long duration M4.2 flare was observed around the new region, turning into view from off the southeast limb. Bingo, our new little region rounding the corner and coming into view is already kicking out stuff. A number of radio emissions were recorded this morning, so updated coronagraph imagery is required to determine if any of these events produce coronal mass ejections. Whew. Coming on over to here. Early impact coronal CME struck Earth's magnetic field on July 30th at 027. The impact sparked a minor G1 class geomagnetic storm with faint auroras over some northern tier U.S. states. This is not what we expected from a potent cannibal CME. Not. Keyword, not what we expected from a potent cannibal CME. In fact, the cannibal might still be coming. On the 30th. Forecast models suggest an arrival time later on the 30th. See what I'm saying? It's coming on the 30th, and we're just entering the 30th, midday the 30th. So, the anatomy of the cannibal CME over the weekend, the sun hurled multiple CMEs directly towards Earth.